but then there's also astroturfing. There's a lot
What's
of these. Astroturfing is when you have fake downloads, fake views. You have like companies that you can hire, and they will get you views. But here's the thing:
that's gonna fuck you.
It'll fuck you. But the point is, people still do it, and they do it because you can do it right now, right? And so what that means is, like, say if you have like millions and millions of subscribers, and then you look at the views are hundreds of thousands of views. Then you look at the comments, like fucking 5 comments,
6 comments, like what the fuck is going on?
What's going on here?
But it's a weird thing to do, because in order to make money, YouTube sees the back end. So if you're trying to make money off your show, you're not going to make money.
But it'll get bigger because of the number. So here's the thing. Like, so if you go to like BrendonSchaub.com, if you did that, if you have Brendan Schaub's YouTube channel, and I looked at it, I'm like, damn, he's got 25 million subscribers? Well, I should fucking subscribe. People do that. They'll click on it, and they'll click on your views or your videos more often.
Because they think they're like missing out. Like, clearly this guy's doing something right.
Of course. It definitely, I'm not saying that's responsible for all the views that you'll get because of that, but it has an impact on how people see you. You look more legitimate. And if you're trying to develop sponsor deals or some sort of a brand endorsement deal, you're like, well, I've got 20 million subscribers on YouTube. Like, oh, this guy's big.
That's
this
true.
Guy's big. Yeah, it definitely
But then
does.
they're like, but there's 3 comments.
Well, there was scammers that were doing weird stuff in the early days of podcasts, where they would rig things to exaggerate downloads back in the early days of audio only.
Buddy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And then someone came and regulated it.
Exactly.
But it's not like we were all in on it.
No.
It was someone who was running, because we're all kind of using the same audio thing. And I remember telling Brian, I'm like, dude, we got 30 million fucking audio. 30 mil, dude, this month. And then Tom's like, yeah, I got 60. I'm like, dude, we're crushing it. And then someone came in and was like, actually.
Yeah. What it was doing was, like, every time someone clicked on it, it would count. So that, like, I'm talking completely
if they
out of
started
my
and
ass.
stopped it, right?
Yeah.
It counted.
It would count it over and over again as multiple listens.
That's right.
And I think they do that with other things too. Like, so you have to figure out like who the actual number of people. But people have been accused of making, like, you could pay to get Instagram accounts. You can get followers. There's companies that will get you followers. I don't know if it's legit or legal, but I know for a fact that some people have done that. But
doesn't Instagram in the background, doesn't YouTube, don't they try to shut that shit down?
They definitely do.
Millions of bots over the weekend.
100%. And I notice it sometimes. I'll notice it where I'll lose like 100,000.
Yeah, I lost 100,000.
Yeah, but there are bots, 100%, and there's a ton of them, and they catch some of them. But some of them are more sophisticated in their approach, and then they adjust. So once they realize what gets them caught, you could run an AI program.
Yeah.
So if you run an AI program and you have like if you're in fucking Singapore or wherever you're at doing this, you could run an AI program that controls a bunch of different cell phones that has a bunch of different accounts, and you can have them even commenting on things. And you'll notice this sometimes. And they'll be programmed to comment positive or negative, or and it seems like a fucking person, man.
Wow.
But you'll see that there's like a bunch of numbers after a couple of letters, or a name like Bob 567-254, and then you see like, God, I don't think Bob's a person. And then you go to Bob's account, and you're like, there's almost no chance that Bob's a person. But meanwhile, Bob's posting all the time and making comments on things all the time. And most likely what this is it's paid engagement. So it's not just paid views, but because of AI and because of programs you could run, there's the potential for paid engagement.
Dialogue back and forth.
Yes,
Me and Schaub were talking about before you got here is I don't know that you're aware of this, Joe, the streamers paying for
Clippers.
The next level of what you're describing. So it's not AI doing it.
Have you heard of Clippers?
Yes.
They're paying for, there's thousands of people that are just sitting around at home making a shitload of money.
A ton of money.
And they're posting.
Because you'll think certain people are bigger than they are. Like, man, I see them everywhere. Right. It's like, that's all by design.
And you can pay for that too. So that's probably legal, right? So, no?
I mean,
no?
Why should it be?
Right. It all depends on what are you doing? Are you getting money from it? Are you getting advertising revenue from it?
To your point, it's a false sense of fame. Because to your point with Armin, it's like, yeah, we know him and he's getting views online, but does that equal actual fans?
I think it reinforces the fans that already love him.
Yes.
And a few people are going to hop on board. But as far as like your general casual that will
they're not seeing
tune in for a UFC fight card, no. Not necessarily.
But
Not
also, it's
necessarily.
also a younger demo, right? Like, you ever watched the stream?
Once again, Brendan Schaub caught lying when he went on Joe Rogan's podcast. I'm starting to think Joe Rogan was just bringing all this stuff up, knowing Schaub was lying about it. But as in regards to buying bots and fake views, which Brendan Schaub does in order to garner sponsorships because his career is dead. I'll just use one example, even though he bought 400,000 views for his Gringo Poppy special that was god-awful. And to this day buys views. If you go to any Fighter the Kid video and look at the first 2 comments, they will be amazing, great content and Asian name. But I'll just bring up this one example. So he had a channel called Drive Fast All Gas that was originally called Toontown, in which he had to change the name. He dropped his first video ever on this channel. It got 3,800 views with 25,000 likes. YouTube deleted the views because they were bot views. And then that shadow banned the channel, hence why he never doesn't use that channel anymore. He hasn't dropped a video on the Drive Fast All Gas channel in over a year, when he claims to be a gearhead and all of his content now is about cars, because that channel got shadow banned because he bought a bunch of fake views that hit the like button, and YouTube erased them because they weren't going to pay him for that. And it explains why Brendan Schaub is shadow banned in general. And he tried to reach out to someone, we know this from his former handler Mark Harley, who leaked all this. He reached out to a person at Instagram and asked why he's shadow banned, never telling her that he bought fake followers, and that's why he got shadow banned. So once again, Brendan Schaub 100% guilty and does what Rogan was talking about, and sat there and pretended like, oh my God, I don't know what he's talking about. Because he tried getting out of it going, why would someone do that? Because you wouldn't make money from YouTube. And Rogan brought up, they would get sponsorship deals and brand deals. And lo and behold, that's all Brendan Schaub has now. So he can con little nobody companies into giving him money and see no returns. And all he does is use Joe Rogan's name. And you want to know how I know he uses Joe Rogan's name? Because when him and Brian Callen called up Bobby Lee and threatened Bobby Lee's career, they used Joe Rogan's name and said they were going to end his career. They were going to go, tell Joe Rogan. You don't think they do that for brand deals? You don't think they do that to get reservations at nice restaurants or anything? So once again, Bappa pathetically caught lying. But let me know your thoughts in the comments.